If you cannot tell your story correctly, why are you telling it? Because people suck. I'm not here to have a conversation with somebody who doesn't exist. I have read fan fiction that does this very well. What the fuck? What's up, guys? My name is Lou and these are my books. Today we're filming my bookish pet peeves. I have a lot of things that bother me in books. These aren't tropes per se, but these are just things in books that will literally make me DNF immediately, utterly. I cannot stand these things in books, and literally it is the worst. These are like the worst possible scenario. Like, I literally want to bury this book in a ditch. That's how bad these are for me. And then also there are just things that in the book community that bother me so deeply. Hold on. Yes, they bother me so deeply because people suck. So I've made like a little list on my iPad here, and we're just gonna go through it, and I'm gonna talk about each and every one because I will have a lot to say. I also kind of forgot what I wrote on this list, to be honest. So like, let's just go through it together. All right. First off is when the MC is talking like to the audience. Okay, so I actually, this is the pettiest reason I've ever, like, actually, like, just stopped reading a book cold. Because, like, the Confessions of Henrietta Lightwood something. It's not Lightwood because that's a Cassie Clare thing. The Confessions of Henrietta Lightfoot, that book, I had that book for a while. And I decided to give it away. I decided to sell it because the book starts off with our main character talking to the audience. And, like, talking to the audience in entertainment is bad. Unless you're a comedian. Like, unless you're a comedian or something, or in that vein, you should not be talking directly to your audience. And especially in books, it is awkward. Because it's like, this is paper. This is a person. These are words on a page. You don't even have a physical image. Why are you talking to me? Why are you talking to me about how I should perceive you? Genuine. Actually, why are you talking to me? Because literally, I read books for escapism. I'm not here to have a conversation with somebody who doesn't exist. I'm out here, I'm literally trying to forget the entire world outside of my life. And you're out here trying to have a conversation with me? What the fuck? It's stupid. It's petty. But I honestly do not give a fuck. Like, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. You know, we all know why I'm here. And it is not to talk to someone who is basically just words on a page. God. Sacrificing plot for romance. Okay. This is why I don't like romance books. Because romance books focus heavily on the romance aspect. They have nothing else besides that little bubble of the romance. Usually. There are some romance books I've heard do that really well where they don't sacrifice the plot for the romance. And they can do both separately and very well. I have read fan fiction that does this very well. And, like, it leaves me pining for the relationship bits, but also the bits where the character, where, like, our main POV character is actually talking to somebody outside of her love interest. It bothers me so deeply when some random character, when our, like, or a main character, whether it be female or male, is literally in the middle of, like, this big surrounding plot that's actually very interesting, but then the author decides, X-nay, we're not talking about this anymore. And I'm literally out here like, what the actual fuck? What the fuck? Tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me the why you decided to just get rid of this beautiful plot in favor of a lackluster romance connection. Why? Because if you cannot tell your story correctly, why are you telling it? I don't get it. I don't. That sounds mean, but I'm serious. Why? Oh, also, can we just talk about the fact that some romance books, literally, in their sacrificing for the plot, they don't even make the romance good? Like, it's literally just these two characters who barely know each other immediately going, you are my everything, I would die for you. And then literally it's just them having that same conversation, just with slightly different wording. Can we not normalize that? Can we, like, get rid of it entirely? Next. You can see me rolling my eyes at this. Author, very obviously self-inserting. Oh my God. So I actually actively hate this. Like, it's actually something that I genuinely despise. I cannot tell you how much it annoys me when the author literally, no joke, inserts themselves into the book. And I'm slightly more okay with it if it's a reader X character insert fan fiction, because you expect that. But for a traditionally published book, you don't do that kind of shit. Like, okay, so let's be completely and utterly clear. Let me put it this way. Personally, I've only read one book that does this. I cannot remember the title, but it bothered me to no end. Once I figured out that the author looked exactly like our main character, I was like, no. And then I found out that apparently Stephenie Meyer literally just inserted herself into Twilight, where essentially Bella, her physical description matches Stephenie Meyer's completely to a T. And I'm like, and my question, my bothersome with this is, like, you took all of this pain, all this effort to put yourself into this story. You made this story, surrounded yourself in it, put yourself in it, fine, whatever. How is it that you make your self-insert character so bad? Like, we all know Bella's one-dimensional. We all know this. We all have this information. It is not new to anybody. But this is not new to anybody. However, Bella being a self-insert Stephenie Meyer makes no sense when you understand the fact that Bella is a bad character. So it really is just like, what's the excuse for making your self-insert character so one-dimensional and so bad that literally the actress that plays her in the movie was like, yeah, that's just how I perceived her, so I acted out how I perceived her. You're joking. You're fucking joking. Next. Okay. When the book goes tone deaf, this bothers me. This bothers me so deeply. So deeply. So let's just put this into perspective a little bit. I have no beef with books and having tone. I have no book with books having, like, darker conversations. I have no beef with any of that. My beef immediately comes from the fact where this book is trying to convey a dark message but doesn't do that. It's like, how was, let me see. Fourth Wing. Obviously, there's a war looming. Death is around every single corner. Dragons literally see you as kibble. But there's no risk. There's like nothing hanging over your head that makes you feel like, oh, something bad's gonna happen. The book is completely tone deaf because it's trying too hard to display an image that it's not matching. And it bothers me so deeply because it's like, it just takes you out of the story. You're reading these words, but you're not feeling it. Like, okay, so the book that I would recommend completely, if you want a book that falls completely on the tone that it's trying to portray, An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. That book, that entire series had this eerie sense of dread for me. I need to read the last book, which means I need to reread the entire series. But still, that book has, that series has this whole underlying tone of dread just going through the entire books. Every word for word, page by page, you feel this kind of like chill down your spine every time you read that book. Like, for everything. Listen. When I tell you that book is really good for the fact that it's completely on the tone that it's attempting to convey, I mean it. It does a really good job of that. And even though I was like scared out of my fucking mind by words on a page, I still continued reading. And it's good. But if your book falls tone deaf, you've essentially lost everything, especially if you're trying to create an entire like different image. Listen. It just annoys me. It annoys me so deeply, so badly. I hate it. I hate every damn second of that. Hate it. Oh my God. When the characters don't stand on their own. So this is something that specifically I find very much in like romance heavy books or books that have a very large cast of characters. So let me put it into perspective. I'm currently reading The Gilded Wolves. That book the characters in that book I'm 5 chapters in. I literally have I've met pretty much all of these characters. We have not gotten everything from each of their perspectives yet, but we've met all of these characters, and all of them have their own specific personality trait, and they just kind of run with that. Right? This book was pitched to me, the series itself was pitched to me as Six of Crows, but make it historical. And that is not an accurate description because none of these characters mimic anything of Six of Crows. The only thing that's relatively Six of Crows about this is the heist aspect of it. And that hasn't even gotten underway yet. But seriously, the relationships between these characters is literally kind of like the only thing surrounding them. We don't get a lot of what is wrong. We don't know a lot about these characters other than like kind of their backstories. But these characters, they only really work together. The only way they work is if they were in a group. If any of these books focused on one particular character, they would not stand on their own and I would hate these characters. But they work cohesively as a group. Trade that to Six of Crows. I personally wanted a book that was just about Kaz. I really just wanted that. Like, Kazbrecker in and of himself is a character that stands on his own and is one of the best like morally gray characters I've ever read about personally. And like it's kind of obvious why he's that way. We get bits and pieces of his backstory as the books progress and all of that, as we do for all of the other characters. Really, kind of. We don't really get much about like Nina, really, exactly. However, Nina has her own like history story thingy, whatever. She has her own trilogy. I don't really give a fuck. But I still didn't like Nina very much just because of how she manipulated Matthias. Anyways, but yeah, Kazbrecker is a character that stands on his own. I wanted a book that was literally just about Kaz. We never got one. I'm still begging for one. Lee Bardugo, please. But still, characters that don't stand on their own are really bothersome to me because they have to rely on other characters to set them apart, you know? So, like, the entire cast of Six of Crows, they do stand on their own. However, something that's obvious within the Gilded Wolves, Layla is obviously a Nina substitute, and they just kind of like mixed it a little bit with her. Because oh god, I'm not gonna go into that real quick. I don't really want to, but it's kind of obvious that these two characters are literally basically the same person. Either way, characters that don't stand on their own bother me very deeply. Because it's like, why are you writing this character if you're only going to make them work within a specific context? Like, what's the point of that? What's the point? What's the point? Too many time skips. Okay, so I found this is a problem for me when I read And I Darken by Kiersten White. So this is a book that's essentially Vlad the Impaler, but make her female. And like, yeah, I skimmed to the end of the book, and it's supposed to be very politics heavy. It's supposed to be like very fantastical and all of that, with like the girl being non-traditional and the boy also being non-traditional, blah, 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 whatever. Something that bothered me very deeply is that we didn't get to see these characters develop. We didn't get to see, Ladia and Raul, maybe? I forget their fucking names. We didn't get to see our main character and her brother develop as they should have. We didn't get to see that because there were literal years-long gaps in between where one chapter started and another one started. It bothered me a lot because we didn't get to see these characters do any sort of development at all into the people they become. Literally, we just get to see some of their interactions, and it just doesn't, and a lot of it doesn't exactly make a lot of sense, mainly because, like, we don't get to see our female main character building up the respect with the army. We don't get to see the boy gaining this political knowledge that's going to be so vital later. We don't get to see any of that, and it's just so annoying. It was so annoying to me. Because it's just like, why would you skip such vital parts in their development and not write it? Why would you do that? God. Oh, and also the fact that our main POV character in And I Darken had to be watered down with a love plot. Ugh. Why the hell is your cover so bad? Okay, I've talked about bad covers on my channel before. I've made an entire video about it. If you want to go check that out, I'll link it down below. Why is it that you have this amazing, beautiful description of a book, and then you have a cover that looks like something you picked out of MS Paint or Photoshop? Why? You're putting money into this book, yes? Your publishing company is financing this, yes? Why is it so bad? How did you approve this? Why? That's why I buy so many special editions, because there are some times where I just absolutely fucking despise the covers of books. Let's talk about like a recent example, The Gilded Wolves. This is the original cover, and then let me bring it. This is the Fairy Loot cover. Obvious difference, obviously so much better. I already talked about this kind of characters change, but no development. This is not just the time skip thing. It is also the fact that literally, I've seen this in books where characters will start out this way and then by the end of the book end out this way, and we don't get to see how that happened. Something that boggles my mind. Like, my brain cells are still trying to wrap around this, and there's only 3 of them, so that takes up a lot of brain power. Is that your character essentially turns into an entirely different person by the end of the book, and you don't know where that shit came from. It's like a whole fucking switch up. It's just like, is this the same person? Because I was reading about a completely different person. I don't understand. Please tell me where this came from and how I can go back and see where this happened. I don't understand. And authors tend to do that because they just really don't give their characters any like time or any amount of like developing moments. Like, this is my thing. Characters who don't struggle. Like, how do they change so much if they don't struggle through the things that they change? Okay, I'm going on. Why do you need 12 books filled with nothing? This is a specific complaint about the Zodiac Academy and all other book series that are literally more than 5 books long. I beef a little bit with books that have really long series. Like, okay, I get it. You need more than one book to explain the entire plot and have everything wrapped up in a nice little bow. But 12 books is excessive. 12 books is excessive. And anything more than that is entirely unethical. Why do you have that many? What is happening? That is ADHD brain level wastage. I hate that. But specifically where the books are practically filled with nothing. Like, let me again, Zodiac Academy. I haven't read it. I actually read the first book. And then I was like, there are 12 different books. And I'm like, and it was like, oh yeah, because there's 12 different Zodiacs, blah, blah, blah. That makes a lot of sense. So I'm assuming, so like I looked at the Zodiac Academy and I was like, assuming, I was like, oh, maybe each book is going to be focusing on like a different Zodiac and its characteristics and how these characters have to work through these parts of their personality, blah, blah, blah. No, not at all. It is literally just 12 books of like literally them dancing around the subject and then having smut, and then also one character has blue hair. I hate every damn minute of it. I hate it. I hate when you're fucking wasting my time. I remember having a conversation with someone on Discord about this, and they were like, yeah, I read like the first 6 books of the Zodiac Academy, and then it was kind of like a bad TV show to me, and then I snapped out of it and realized they were in fact shit, so then I never went back. And I'm like, that was probably for the best. And she was like, yeah. My God, I forgot about this one. This is an anime. Why a harem? This ties back to my whole love story thing, whatever. Why are there harems in books that don't need them? There is a harem in the anime SAO. And, like, it's not even, like, he doesn't even, like, Kirito does not even, like, want this harem. He's literally committed to one girly and one girly only. He's committed to, like, his wife and his daughter. That's it. He's just friends with everybody else. He never gave any of them hints as to, oh, maybe I like you. No, they all just kind of fell for him regardless. Even his cousin, which is weird. But like, in a book, having a harem in a book where it doesn't need to happen, if it's not part of the plot, why is it there? Why do you need for your main character to have multiple different love interests? Why does this need to be like a debate? Why does this need to be a fight? Why? This also takes back into the like the main character can't stand on their own. They just need someone to prop them up a little bit just so they seem a bit more impressive than they actually are. Why the harem? Why? Especially when it's obvious who they're gonna end up with. Oh, God. I would literally kill me. I can't. Oh, this one. Readers acting superior to other readers. This I've seen mostly on Booktok. I've seen people literally being like, oh, you're not a real reader if you don't read 100 books a year. What the fuck is that? It's like, oh, you're not a real reader if you don't own this many books. You're not a real reader if you don't have these bookshelves. What?
What's this? Huh? What's this?
What? The bookshelves I have are the most basic fucking bookshelves you could ever get. They're literally like less than $100 a pop. And you're telling me I need to have like $1,000 bookshelves to be considered a reader? Has it ever occurred to you that I don't need something that fancy? Or B, I can't fucking afford to have something that expensive just like laying on my walls? Why do you need $1,000 bookshelves? Like, I don't care what you do with your money, but why are you trying to push that lifestyle onto me when I can't afford it? Oh, and this ties into my next one. Having special editions doesn't make you special. See, I own a lot of special editions of books, mainly because I just hate certain covers. So I get the special editions because they usually have redesigned covers. Right? Right. Like, I absolutely fucking despise the Jade City original covers. So I got the Illumicrate ones. Do I care that they were almost $400? Not really. No, I really don't. Because it's better in my mind to have those books rather than just to have them ugly. And I do that solely for me, for no one else. I don't do that to show off. I don't do it for anything else. I literally just did it for me because I wanted them and I can afford them at the time. So why the fuck shouldn't I? Shouldn't I buy things for myself, right? But that doesn't make me any more of a reader than anybody else. It doesn't make me any more privileged than well, it makes me more privileged than some people. And I understand that being able to buy special edition books is a major privilege. And I'm really grateful to be able to do that. But that doesn't make me better than anybody else just because I'm reading a special edition of a certain book that somebody else just doesn't have. I'm not going to brag about it at all. Like, I'm just going to be like, oh, look how pretty, and then throw it back on my shelves. I'm not going to tell you that you should have these editions of these books because they're so much better, whatever the fuck. I'm not that pretentious. I may be a bit, I may be a bit, like, picky about my books, but I'm not that pretentious. Get the fuck out of here, man. Literally, the shirt I'm wearing right now, this white shirt, is from Shein. I don't want to hear it. This is another thing. Do you actually read, or are you just a fan of Booktok? See, here's the thing. Booktok has been around for a good amount of time. And a lot of people are very big fans of Booktok, and it's kind of obvious that they're fans of Booktok when they only talk about very, very specific books. Like, there are probably, like, okay, so let me put it this way. You can tell someone's a fan of Booktok when they're talking about factory default Booktok. When they haven't gone into, like, the nitty gritty, when they haven't gone into any other niche categories of Booktok. They're just talking about the ones that are just mainstream on the app and blah, blah, blah. Right? Like, there's a difference between an actual reader and someone who's just a fan of Booktok but likes to have the aesthetic of a reader. And it bothers me when people who just like Booktok but don't actually read want to come to me and start telling me about what I should and shouldn't be reading when you don't even know what you like to read. You're just regurgitating shit from the internet. People who regurgitate anything from the internet, I honestly have no respect for. I really don't. It's just annoying. It's just like, why do you have to be a pest? Truly, like, why do you have to just be there? Why? And my last point, don't adopt a character's personality. Like, please? I beg of you. Do not take a book character and just apply their personality to yourself, because that's not how that shit works. Like, this character's personality is this way for a reason. The reader intended it to, not for you to wear as an everyday, like, mask, like a fucking persona. Why? Why the hell do you have to behave like you're fucking Violet Sorrengail or fucking Aelin Galathinius, Ash River Galathinius Whitethorn? Sorry, she has a long ass last name. Like, as if that's, or better yet, why do you have to behave like fucking Selena Sardathian, like pre-development? Why? Why do you have to do that? That's fucking cringe. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get people. Nah. But anyways, guys, that brings this video to an end. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more of my content, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified every time I post a new video. I post weekly on this channel, so don't miss out. Also, leave me comments down below. What you want to see from me, what books I should put on my TBR, what books I should move up my TBR, or just say hi in the comments and tell me what you're reading. I always get really excited when I see your guys' comments. It makes me feel so happy and appreciated. Anyways, guys, I love my Lumas. Bye!